Biden had been up there giving that speech, men in white coats would have interrupted him and carted him off and put him in a padded wagon. I thought today I would wake up and the TV would be full of like doctors talking about Donald Trump's cognitive decline. I thought it would be full of Republicans hanging their heads in shame like Democrats did. Joe Biden had a bad 90-minute debate. He said it's one episode. That's what we've seen so far. What we saw yesterday was a replay of Trump's 90-minute constant rallies. It's too bad the bandage was just over his ear. It should have been over his mouth.
For me, I have a lot of faith in the American people. And I don't know very many men who want to be talked to the way that this man has been talking to men in his audience. I don't know any women, and I know his grandchild was up on the thing, and they're trying to humanize him and change your idea about who this guy is. Don't fall for that.
Trump, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Talking about Trump.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We got to talk about more Democrat Party infighting, because it's not just the Democrats, the liberals, the progressives. They won't be the only people that's a part of this fight, okay, about who should be the Democrat Party nominee. It'll also be the never Trumpers as well, too, who are stuck between a rock and a hard place, because some of them, unless their name is Ana Navarro, they're not vote blue. No matter who, right? They're just like, well, I just don't like Trump, and I'm not going to vote for Trump, but that doesn't mean I'm going to vote for Joe Biden, okay? And that is the position that Chris Christie is in. And again, I don't like Chris Christie. I'm not a big fan of Chris Christie, okay? But I got to say, Chris Christie does make some pretty decent points here in regards to why he's not voting at all, which, hey, I'm cool with that, right? If a never Trumper says, well, I'm not going to vote for Trump, I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden either, I'm okay with that, right? I'm cool with that. But what I really don't like are the people like, again, Ana Navarro, who claims to be a Republican, but yet she's like, well, I am going to vote for Joe Biden in the most progressive agenda that we've ever seen, right? She's just essentially a Democrat. She's a full-blown progressive now, but she's claiming to be a conservative Republican. I don't like that. Now, again, with Chris Christie is different. He doesn't claim to be a Democrat. He just claims to not like Trump. And that's fine, okay? That's okay. It's not my preference. I still think that these never Trumpers are out of their minds by not voting for Trump. But it is what it is, okay? However, The View does not take this stance, okay? They're pissed off at Chris Christie for not voting for Joe Biden. Again, they're going to lecture him on why he should vote for Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, really, at this point. And it's a pretty fascinating conversation. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Vote for a Democratic ticket? Why then? And I know you're not voting for Trump. Would you vote for a Democratic ticket?
Right now, I'm not voting for either. I'm just not. I can't. One guy is completely mentally incompetent to do the job. No, I'm going to vote down ticket. I don't have to vote.
Yes,
no.
you do. You cannot throw away your vote. I asked you this the last time you were on, Chris, and are you going to sit this one out? I'm going to sit this one out?
Don't you think it's rich for you to tell the Democrats that they've got to get rid of their nominee when you're not willing to vote for any of their nominees?
Well, he's also going to wait and see what...
Wait a second. You just asked me who I'm voting for now. Biden is the nominee. Let me see what the Democrats do if they change.
This is not the time to sit it out, Governor.
I'm willing to consider anybody who presents himself as someone who will make the country better.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not encouraged by Kamala Harris's performance thus far, but
give her a chance.
But
give her a
why
chance.
not?
Guys, why not?
We only have like a minute 30.
Go ahead,
so I don't
use
have enough time.
Use it.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Here's the hilarious part about this. Again, for as Trump deranged as Chris Christie is, he's making the point of, well, I'm not just going to vote for a Democrat no matter who it is. I'm not going to vote blue no matter who, right? Which to them blows their mind. They're like, oh my God, you're not going to vote for a Democrat no matter who it is? You actually want to see their policies? You actually want to see who it is and whether or not you think they should be president of the United States instead of just coming out and voting against Trump like we're doing, like mindless zombies, right? This is what they're saying. And again, look who's in the mix. So-called Republican Ana Navarro is in the mix of, well, why are you not going to vote blue no matter who? I don't understand why she continues to call herself a Republican. And I wish that Chris Christie would have just called her out and be like, Anna, like, really? What are you doing right now? Right? Are you really trying to tell me that I should vote blue no matter who? It just shows you how Democrats, their party, they're not a party of critical thinkers. They're not a party of policy. They are a party of emotion. This is why they use hatefulness and divisiveness to push their agenda. And again, they can't lead with anything else, again, besides racial identity politics, because the policy doesn't matter, right? They don't care about that at all. They're like, hey, vote for us because Republicans racist. But again, at some point, that just doesn't work anymore. At some point, you have spammed that card so much that it doesn't work. And I really don't think it's going to work in this election. Like, the whole concept of Democrats having an open convention, overthrowing Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and picking some unknown governor is this idea that, well, it doesn't matter who it is as long as it's not Joe Biden or Kamala Harris by extension, because apparently they want to overthrow Kamala too. As long as it's not the current ticket, we're good, because everybody's just going to line up and vote blue no matter who. That's what's going to happen. This is what they think, because they believe that voters are stupid. Voters are so dumb that they're not going to care about the policies. We're going to come out here and roll some governor out that's going to basically say that, well, everything that the Biden administration did was amazing and it was great. You just need to vote for me because I'm not Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or Trump. And again, I just don't think that's going to work. Okay? I just refuse to believe that people are that stupid. Now, I'm not saying there's not a significant amount of country that's that stupid, because most certainly there is. Okay, this is why the Democrat Party exists. If there wasn't so many stupid people in this country, we wouldn't have a Democrat Party. But I'm just saying that the idea that you can just put up anybody and people are going to vote blue no matter who, and that's going to win you an election because you're going to use Trump derangement as your main selling point, that may have worked in 2020 with Joe Biden. I don't think it's going to work in 2024 against Trump. And the reason why is because people have seen the results that we got under Trump versus the Democrats the last 4 years. And people know that the Trump card, so to speak, is played out for the Democrats. It's played out. So, hey, if they want to have this open convention and essentially divide their party even more and run with some unknown governor that nobody knows about, that's great, okay? Because it essentially guarantees a victory for Trump. And at this point, to be quite honest with you, unless something super crazy happens, which over the past 3 or 4 weeks, I'm not saying something super crazy won't happen in the future. It probably will, more likely than not. It's almost basically guaranteed that Trump is going to win. Because even if Biden stays in a race, the Democrats have damaged him so much that he can't recover from that, right? If he's a nominee, Democrats can't take back all these things that they openly said about Joe Biden and put out there in the media. The genie's out of the bottle. You replace Joe Biden with Kamala Harris, they've already shown that, hey, she ain't all that competent either. And she still has the stigma of the Biden administration. She was a part of it. And she's not that talented. She's not that good. But again, if you replace both of them with some random governor, you're going to have the issue of popularity, trust. People don't know who this is, especially if you do it in an undemocratic way, which is what they're going to do. If they do it, if they have an open convention, that's going to destroy the party, right? Trump derangement is destroying the Democrat Party right now, guys. I want you guys to understand, Trump derangement is destroying the party. Is at the point now where they are imploding from their Trump derangement. They've spammed it so much that it is now hurting them, right? It is one of the most fascinating things that I've ever witnessed in politics, what's currently happening to the Democrat Party.
But to answer your question directly, I think that they're going to get rid of Biden. I think it's most likely to be Harris. And I think she has to pick a moderate Democratic governor.
You know who I like? Mark
to try to be unified. Hey, listen, Trump had the chance to be unifying.
And he wasn't.
He could have picked someone like Glenn Youngkin, for instance, who would have been a much more unifying choice. He doubled down.
Glenn Youngkin.
Who would have been a more unifying choice than J.D. Vance.
He absolutely would.
Well, what he actually really means is that, well, Glenn Youngkin is more of the traditional establishment corporate Republican type, right? This is what Christie actually means. I mean, that's essentially who he is. But ultimately, Trump picked a guy that is going to give them the best chance of winning the states that Trump really needs to win in order to win the election.
And
what about John Tester from Montana? He's pro-gun, but he's a liberal.
But Tester won't be picked.
In a red
first
state.
Of all,
He's one in a
first
red
of all,
state.
he can't deliver his 3 votes in Montana.
Well, it's a red state with a very, very red state.
He's on the ballot.
Let me tell you something. Any Democrat's got to win Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
The choice should be Josh Shapiro. And it's really that simple.
I like him.
Hey,
politically, and he's popular right now.
Would that ticket be
20
Trump
seconds,
Vance
Johnny.
ticket?
It has a much better chance of beating a Trump Vance ticket than the Biden-Harris ticket.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think that a Kamala Harris plus a Josh Shapiro or a Roy Cooper from North Carolina, that's also another name being thrown out there. I think that would probably give Democrats the best chance of winning, right? If the Democrats are going to go this route, if I was them, which, you know, I hope there are no Democrats watching this video, they might get some good ideas. A Kamala Harris and a Josh Shapiro, somebody from a swing state like a Pennsylvania that you have to win, or a North Carolina, which is less likely to win North Carolina regardless if they pick Roy Cooper. But anyways, somebody from a swing state that's a more moderate governor would be the best ticket, right? The problem is that, again, you still have Kamala at the top of the ticket. And if you really wanted to increase your chances of winning, Kamala would have to take a step back and then let the man lead, which would create a very awkward situation, right, optically for Democrats, because everybody would immediately say, well, Kamala's not really, she ain't really the one that's running things, okay? It'd be obvious. But that would probably give Democrats the best chance. But that doesn't mean that they have a good chance of winning. It just means that out of every other scenario or every other option, that's probably the best option. But again, Kamala's at the top of the ticket. And again, I'm not entirely sure which governor who is looking to seek office in the future, 2028, 2032, why would you want to be associated with this administration? That's also another problem as well, too, with the open convention. If I was a Democrat governor and I had a decent approval rate, I wouldn't want to be associated with this. This is a dumpster fire right now. So why would you want to be associated with picking up the pieces of a failing administration? Doesn't really make sense to me. So we'll see. We'll see.
Biden-Harris ticket will not win. Can't win.
So would you vote for Harris Shapiro?
Don't know. Let me see what they have to say.
Oh, but
you have to see what they have to say. Policy matters.
It matters. I'm sorry that I care what people stand for. I apologize.
We do too.
I'm not going to pre-commit to it.
We know what the other side stands for.
Let them perform and earn my vote. People should have their vote earned, not given.
By the time we get a hold of him next time, he'll be voting.
Voting for you, Joy. I'll write you in.
Thank you to Christie. My new.
Wow. That segment says a lot about these individuals. I mean, they quite literally will vote for anybody, right? They will vote for anybody on the left as long as they're not Trump. And they don't care what the policy positions are. They don't care what they actually really believe. In their head, it's not possible for a Democrat to be worse than Trump. And that is really dangerous, right? That is actually a dangerous mindset when you're essentially saying that, well, we hate a guy so much that we don't even care about what our guy stands for. We just want to get rid of that guy. That essentially opens the door for what these people claim they're trying to prevent or what they're trying to fight against to actually take over the Democrat Party, right? That opens the door for an actual demagogue in the Democrat Party to rise up because of this mindless approach of just saying, well, we're going to vote for the Democrat no matter what. I mean, it really is something that is fascinating to behold. But again, like I told you guys, the main takeaway here is that all of this is happening because of Trump derangement. And it's the Democrats' fault because, again, they've overplayed the Trump card, and now the Trump card is backfiring big time, right? That's what's happening here. Because, if Trump was just some run-of-the-mill Republican, if Trump was a Mitt Romney, if Trump was a Christie, they wouldn't care. Right? They'd be like, you know what? Biden's old, but we're not going to rock the boat. We're not going to destroy the party to beat Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney, you know, he's close enough to us where we can stomach 4 years of it, right? We'll put up another candidate. But simply because it's Trump, this is why they're doing this. And it's fascinating. I think that it's going to destroy him. Like, I mean, legitimately, I think it's going to be the most damaging thing to ever happen to the Democrat Party in recent memory. And I can't wait for it. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.